Hi guys, and welcome to SHOWGEEK. In a surprise move, HBO just announced that they would be releasing all of their movies slated for 2021 in theaters and on HBO Max at exactly the same time. This came about just when Hollywood seemed to start considering the idea as viable, but nobody expected HBO to charge right in and make a sweeping announcement about their entire 2021 roster. Could this be HBO's way of cornering the market for next year, or just a stunt to get more subscribers to their new streaming platform? Well, let's take a look. There's been a whole lot of talk recently about the future of movie theaters. Thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic and movie studios delaying release dates again and again, movie theaters around the world are wondering whether they will have to close their doors permanently in the near future. In a move of monumental callousness, movie studios dumped their cinemas as soon as the pandemic forced them to close their doors. Movie theaters. You know, the places where movie studios originally got all their money and whose box office numbers are still used to gauge whether a movie is successful or not.
I've really outdone myself.
Outdone yourself? Are you kidding me, Rick?
Yep. Well, the studios have decided that loyalty is overrated, and cornering the streaming revenue is the best bet. Nowhere has this been more obvious than at HBO Max, who announced that no less than 17 movies will appear on their streaming platform at the same time they are released in theaters, if they ever are released in theaters. The first movie they announced that would follow this model was Wonder Woman 1984, which is going to be released in theaters and HBO Max on Christmas Day 2020. This comes after Disney Plus's successful release of Mulan directly on their platform after they charged their own subscribers $30 extra on top of their subscriptions. People paid, but this isn't a viable model in the long run. The Tenet example. When Christopher Nolan's movie Tenet was released this August, it did surprisingly well, grossing close to $350 million worldwide before November. People were surprised because most of the major cities were on lockdown at the time, and so people hoped that this could mean light at the end of a long, dark tunnel for theaters. But the thing is, the movie-making machine just doesn't work that way. You see, Tenet cost $200 million to make, but that's before marketing is factored in. After those costs, it looks like Tenet might actually make a loss in the long run. Given the fact that movie theaters were struggling before the pandemic, something has to be done in order to make the whole system more viable for making movies. As Nolan said, studios are looking at where Tenet failed in terms of pre-COVID expectations instead of getting in and rebuilding the business from the ground up. One plucky streaming service steps up, not to save movie theaters though. Oh no. HBO Max has been pretty low in the pecking order of streaming services in terms of their number of subscribers, but what they lack in subscribers, they more than make up for in the amount of licenses they own. Take next year's lineup for example. They have The Matrix 4, the Dune remake, The Sopranos prequel The Many Saints of Newark, The Suicide Squad, Mortal Kombat, Godzilla vs. Kong, The Conjuring sequel, the Denzel Washington movie The Little Things, and Will Smith's sports drama King Richard. With that roster of films all set for release in 2021, other streaming providers are going to find it hard to compete, but movie theaters are going to find it damn near impossible. The alternatives? Well, Universal recently signed a monumental deal with movie theater owners AMC, Cineplex, and Cinemark to reduce the theatrical window to just 17 days. This would mean less revenue for movie theaters, but less is better than none. However, the Universal deal is a video-on-demand service which would make viewers have to pay close to $20 just to rent the movie for a period of time. Compare that with the $14.99 HBO Max price for access to all of the movies mentioned above and, you know, everything else on the HBO Max platform already. Ultimately, the future of movie theaters was uncertain before the HBO Max deal was announced. Afterwards, who knows if we'll ever get to eat overpriced popcorn while watching groundbreaking movies in iconic settings ever again. Say what you will about those sticky floors, I for one will miss the hell out of them if they go. What do you think about the HBO Max announcement? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to SHOWGEEK for more stories from TV, movies, and all your other favorite nerdy content.